This week, in a Facebook group for career moms that I'm a part of, a woman shared a story that I haven't really been able to let go of, and I wanted to share it with you and my thoughts on it to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that this career mom did. This woman shared a story that she was at work and a colleague of hers whispered to her in the hall that she was apparently up for a promotion and she just needed to formalize this with her boss. So later that day, she got called into a meeting with her boss where he, amongst other things, asked her straight out what her plans were for having more kids. She had an 8-month-old child, and she was so completely surprised by this question that she just went on and was completely honest that she was planning on having another baby within a year or two, and that she wasn't really sure about childcare costs and got into all of these details. And when she posted this story in this Facebook group, very surprised both by him asking this question, but also the fact that she didn't get this promotion based on her answers. She got a huge amount of responses, where 98% of the responses were telling her to both, of course, report this to HR, but also to sue the company. Side note, this was obviously like a US Facebook group. And then there were a few people who said that, you should not have said that, so you just have to suck it up. So I just wanted to roll this back a little bit and give the advice here so that you, as a career woman and a career mom, won't make the same mistakes. And the first thing is really that we need to be able to distinguish how the world works and how the world shouldn't work. And even if this is illegal, and even if this is absolutely unacceptable behavior and something that shouldn't happen, this happens all the time. So if you are surprised by getting a question like this, then you have not done your homework. So step number one is that you need to be expecting this question. It doesn't have to be in a meeting with your boss. It could be in a social situation with your colleagues. It could be in a group setting, it could be one-to-one, but to actually have an answer panned out that if someone asks me about, and if you don't have kids, I got that question for 10 years before I had my son, is like, when are you planning to get pregnant? When are you planning to have a baby? To have a response to that so that it doesn't surprise you. And then, of course, the question is, should you be honest about this or should you lie? And this really comes down to several things. It depends on, the company culture. And with company culture, I mean, this is the way that things are done around here. So if you work in a company where you know that pregnant women and parents are penalized, maybe you should lie about it. If you feel like, this is a organization where I see myself being long-term, it's clear that they have a long-term investment in me, and this could actually be beneficial for me to be honest about it. Maybe if you have a female boss that you feel that you can really talk about these things about, which is actually what Sheryl Sandberg recommends in Lean In, is to try to have that conversation with your boss. Working in male-dominated industries, that's not necessarily my experience. But should you be honest or should you lie? Only you can figure that out, but do the work, be prepared so that you have an answer. And also I'll say that this also depends on how comfortable you are with this. So that is the second thing. And then we come to the aftermath, that if you get this question and when you reply, depending on what the reaction is, you need to think about what your goal is here. What is the end game? And this is coming from a career strategist. My job is to help you get where you need to go faster and higher, right? So this is not really about how the world should work, what a perfect situation would be. So in this group, when people said you need to report this to HR for working moms, you need to do this for working moms everywhere, I'm not sure I agree with that. If what you can do for working moms is to show that you can do this job and you can move forward and you can deliver, I think that's really doing more for the cause than reporting someone to HR. Because you need to think of, if you do that and that comes out, which sometimes happens, how will that play out for you? Because that could very easily become your personal brand. That's what you're known for. That all of a sudden it's like, if the mentality is that we just asked her a perfectly normal question, we were just asking about her family planning, and she made this big deal out of it, then that could hurt you and your career. And this whole like suing the company, like I can't even go there, you know? If that's your game plan, that you think that if I sue them and they'll pay me $2 million, I don't know if that's realistic. I don't even know if that's how the world works. Apparently in the Facebook comments, that was like a very strong opinion. But at the end of the day, it's really thinking about, if you're in that situation, how do I move forward and what are the different implications for me? Because if you haven't prepared, if you were surprised, if you had an answer that you know that this is not, you know, if I could have replayed it, I would have done it differently, maybe you just have to suck it up. But I will end with saying that navigating the career space as women, as moms to young kids, it is absolutely tricky. And I think we're all figuring this out day to day, how to do this. But don't let yourself be surprised. I know this is a little bit controversial. If you have thoughts, opinions, ideas on this, I would love to hear about it.